Hello, children. Today we are going to start with a new chapter, that is the energy resources. Energy, we all know, it's a very important aspect of economic development. Without energy resources, economic development in any field wouldn't have taken place. Everything we do, it depends on the energy. The simplest thing as preparing the breakfast in the morning requires energy. Any kind of activities requires lots of energy, and energy plays a very important role where the economic development of a certain country is concerned. We can say that it's a sort of parameter for the measurement as to the economic development of a country. And if a country has huge amount of energy resources, then we can say that country is economically developed, or it has the prospect of being economically developed later on in future. India is the third largest energy consumer in the whole world, but it can be the largest energy consumer because of the speed at which the economic development, urbanization, manufacturing industries are increasing in India. India can be the first largest energy consumer in the world. Energy can be classified as inexhaustible or exhaustible, and renewable or non-renewable. So energy, it can be classified as inexhaustible, meaning which does not get exhausted at all, which does not finishes off, or inexhaustible, which finishes very quickly. And it can also be classified as renewable, means it can be renewed continuously. Another one is non-renewable, it cannot be at all renewed, or else we can say it cannot be regenerated at all. The source of energy has been divided into conventional and non-conventional source of energy as well. It is according to the how widespread the use is, apart from when it has been used. So we will be dealing with the conventional source of energy and its advantages in the coming slide. Conventional source of energy, it has been used by man for many years, for many decades. Man has been using this conventional source of energy for the it can be for the large scale commercial purpose as well. And this conventional source of energy, it is non-renewable. Okay, it is non-renewable. Fossil fuels like coal, petroleum, and natural gases, which cannot be renewed at all or regenerated at all. And water is one conventional source of energy, which is a renewable source. Apart from water, all the other conventional source of energy, it is non-renewable. Then the conventional source, it is exhaustible as well. The conventional source, it gets very easily depleted, very quickly depleted. And once the ore of the conventional source of energy, it is exploited and consumed, it cannot be reversed. So it will have to be used sensibly, because the formation of this conventional source of energy, it takes a very long time. About 90% of the primary energy supply in India, it is supplemented by conventional source of energy, and only 10% it is supplemented by the non-conventional source of energy. Now we will talk about the advantages of conventional source of energy. So the first advantage is fossil fuel as conventional source of energy support heavy requirement. So fossil fuel, when it combusts, that is when it burns, at that time it releases huge quantity of energy. So that energy, it can supplement any kind of energy requirement for any kind of industry. Second one is power generation is consistent. The power that is generated from the conventional source of energy like coal, petroleum, natural gas, running water, it is very consistent, it is very reliable. There is a regular supply of the energy, and the same amount of energy, it is supplied continuously. Third point is the cost per unit energy is low. though we there is a cost regarding the raw material will have to be purchased where the conventional source of energy is concerned, but it has such high calorific value, or we can say huge amount of energy can be generated from little amount of the conventional energies. That's why the cost per unit of energy it becomes very low. Not only that, another source of conventional source of energy, that is the hydro power, can also be considered as a low cost per unit. That's because the construction cost is only very high where hydropower is concerned, but later on the cost becomes very low when there is free generation of energy. Next one is it is used for domestic commercial purposes and in transport. So whatever energy it is required for the domestic purposes, commercial purposes, as well as in the transportation of various vehicles, that is provided by the conventional source of energy. The next point that we will discuss is it can be stored and used on demand. So the conventional source of energy, it can be easily stored, and whenever the demand is there we can use it, and it can be easily transported. Not only that, the conventional source of energy, it can be easily transported from one place to another. It can be via the roadways or the railways or the waterways. It can be transported, and wherever the power generation is required, there the power generation can be done. The power that is generated from the conventional source of energy, it is so reliable, it is so regular, that it can be easily transmitted, and it can be linked to the power grid. Hydropower, though it is a conventional source of energy, but it is a renewable source of energy. That's why energy requirement that is there in the generations to come can be easily sustained by this conventional source of energy, that is the hydropower. Hydropower, which is a conventional source of energy, and it is renewable. Of all the other conventional source of energy, it's only the hydropower which is renewable, and that's why it provides the requirement of energy for the generation to come. That means it is very sustainable. Next one is the hydropower. It is a very clean energy resource, we call it. That's because it does not involve any kind of combustion or burning activities are not there. No emission of any kind of greenhouse gases is there. That's why hydropower, it is considered to be a very clean source of energy. Natural gas, which is a conventional source of energy, comes under the category of cleaner fuel, because a lesser amount of harmful gases are released when natural gas is being burned, and it is also non-corrosive. That is because it has very high methane and low carbon content in it. This is all for today, girls. We will be dealing with the disadvantages of conventional energy resource in the next part. Bye. Take care of yourself.